Welcome back to the Techno-Communism conversation. Thank you for joining me this afternoon. Um, I'm going to talk a little bit about the structure and possibility for building an AI run planned economy in your country and ultimately in every country as described in this model that I've talked about on this show um, a number of times, called the United Earth Directorate, an AI run planned economy. Um, and the best path forward to these either of these two outcomes, um, AI run planned economy of a socialist kind in your country, say the United States, or one larger governance structure like the United Earth Directorate, really depends on whether we are in an AI takeoff or not effectively. As you are probably aware, technology does seem to be advancing quite rapidly, faster than in previous decades, perhaps. This effect can be overstated, but we are looking at something like an AI takeoff, or the more mystical terminology and artificial intelligence singularity, which I think is a little bit of a confusing term. I think AI takeoff or advanced computing takeoff is a little clearer in what it's trying to say. Um, but this emergence of advanced computing approaching human level skills, and its already apparent socio-political impacts, but I think its great potential for tremendous socio-political impacts presents us with an awful lot of opportunities, and also forces us to reflect on existing um, um, existential risks and grand challenges for society. So this area of advanced computing and its potential impact cannot be discussed without a discussion of economic systems and the material conditions of humankind. This is an area that's too often glossed over by people of the capitalist class, who have a very, very intentional practice of ignoring concerns for working people and the institutional problems that exacerbate their lives. Um, this is in evidence in a variety of ways throughout the highly capitalistic and fascistic and militaristic West, run by its arch-fiend ringleader, the United States. For example, the United States average life expectancy is now lower than that of the aggregate of the existing socialist nations. So these countries where the United States has killed many tens of millions of people in fascistic anti-communist wars. For example, 10 million approximately killed in its two worst examples of this in living memory, um, um, Vietnam and Korea. Um, these countries now have a longer life expectancy than the United States, despite ongoing abuses from the imperial core. And this is because the United States does not value human life in the slightest. It does not attempt to secure for its citizens um, uh, appropriate public health measures, most particularly a public health service, a single payer public health service. It runs this system on principles that are violent and horrible, killing in this pandemic times, killing approximately 100,000 people a year, leading to their premature death. 100,000 people a year, because it denies these necessaries and fails to provide what a public health service would provide. Similarly, it does not attempt to house workers or citizens or residents. It does. It keeps those who are housed very much on a razor's edge, unstably housed. And again, these are not mysteries. How do you solve homelessness? How do you solve public health crises? These things were essentially solved more than 100 years ago in the establishment of the first socialist country, the USSR. All you have to do is have in your constitution and appropriately fund and administrate a public health service and housing authority. Similar suffering comes from not guaranteeing suitable work, and the workplace dominated by effective wage slavery and other forms of kowtowing to private wealth contributes substantively to human misery. It would not be difficult to have the jobs guarantee and other kind of job programs or basic income schemes in place to allow people to see their greater potential. So we must have a conversation about how advanced computing tools could facilitate a more efficient, inclusive and socially just and ultimately sustainable economy, which requires economic planning and the abolition of private wealth. All of this can be done centering human affairs around a common good rather than profit. This profit for profit model is literally killing the planet. If you ask yourself what is so it is said that history has come to an end, as written by, perhaps typified by the writing of the 90s of Francis Fukuyama. But many others would say history has come to an end. There is no transition from capitalism to socialism. Capitalism is the highest form of these things, according to these arch fiends. This is of course a capitalist realist fascistic propaganda. But if this were true, to what end has this perfected capitalist system labored towards? It's in that time we've gone from the possibility of killing the planet to an almost near certainty of killing the planet. We're now approximately 5 years away from the permanent breach of 2-degree overheating of the planet from human activity, most notably petroleum products and livestock systems. And when that breach of permanent 2-degree overheating occurs, the world will become a place like what occurred in certain parts of the Middle East last summer, which was 160-degree temperatures wherein mammalian life cannot survive. That's you. You're a mammal. That's what's going to happen. We're going to be locked into a climate apocalypse, a death spiral caused by capitalism if we do not make substantive changes. So the victory of imperial fascists has to the victor go the spoils. In this case, the spoils is this a dubious prize of having killed the whole planet. These maniacs must be stopped. So I urge you to consider these ideas like those I've described, an AI-run planned economy, or in one country, or even building something like the United Earth Directorate. I cannot say with certainty which of those should be pursued in which order. For example, I'm inclined to think that some open source chatbot, like what's coming in next quarter, from in the form of Llama 3, which the developers of that have said it is quite nearly artificially generally intelligent. I'm quite convinced that there's approximately 5 billion regular internet users on the planet, and people who have computers or smartphones. A large number of those people could download this open source nearly artificially generally intelligent chatbot and begin to tailor it in the ways that I described in this and other essays so that it can begin to work, so that these can begin to work together effectively. You could have a network of AI sidekicks that would involve some oversight from yourself. Click-through processes, for the most part, and I'm quite convinced that 1,000 people connected in this network of AI sidekicks, especially tailored to the tasks of building something like the United Earth Directorate, as little as 1,000 people could begin to form something that could challenge this ecocidal fascist monstrosity in the form of the United States and Western nations that refuse to stop in their support for petroleum products and livestock systems and these other things that are killing the planet. They protect them, and they cause devastation through their trillion-dollar military-industrial complexes. All of this must stop. And so let's look at the United Earth Directorate and a vision for these specialized advanced computing systems that would collaborate with humans across various economic sectors, and using the vast amounts of data already at our disposal to truly inform better decision making that would lead to justice and sustainability. Machines handle data analysis in this framework, while humans oversee the process, and by and large, you are all, of course, busy people. So this could be done through click-through processes, something like getting an email and responding yes or no, things along those lines. Automated systems run by such an AI network can also facilitate citizen involvement and feedback on economic decisions in new and far more efficient ways. So this conversation discusses this AI-run planned economy, begun by the seed of this proxy hive mind in the form of a network of AI sidekicks, and ultimately building technocommunism in one country, or a United Earth Directorate, whichever is proves to be the better path. Across discussing different sectors such as infrastructure, manufacturing, healthcare, and environmental monitoring, which the importance of which cannot be overstated. The overarching goal is to use AI to improve economic governance, making it far more transparent, efficient, and participatory. And I think that these things that were might have been considered idealistic in decades past can now become a practical approach to the much needed revolution to save this planet through AI-run um, economic planning. The potential applications range from AI assisting in transportation investments to meet public needs, to rapid responses to manufacturing requests within this AI-run planned economy or the United Earth Directorate networks. Preventative healthcare initiatives can leverage already quite impressive analytics for early intervention, while open education platforms can offer personalized learning with AI sidekicks tasked with education, AI tutors. It is easy for citizens of the West who are under constant barrage of propaganda to overlook how much, under this highly fascistic system, advanced computing already plays a role in economic affairs, and this is very unfortunate because all of this is structured in such a way that it protects private wealth at your expense. But this could all be retooled quite easily to make it serve sustainability and the lifting of all boats in the form of the dramatic improvement of material conditions for workers that would be required to create this sustainable world. Thinking more broadly, advanced computing can manage complex economic flows, production targets, and credit controls with a focus on sustainability. Real-time data and citizen participation can ensure economic decisions prioritize collective well-being over elite interests. So this conversation can lay the groundwork for the full exploration of an AI run planned economy in a country like the United States, or in this United Earth Directorate model. We hope to demonstrate how combining socialist principles and insights from cybernetic systems or systems thinking with advanced computing can transform economic planning. There is a ticking clock, so I encourage you to discuss these ideas with folks and build in whatever way you can activist goals and networks toward seeing that things along these lines are done. The ultimate goal is to use technology guided by socialistic values to create this dramatically more equitable, resilient, and ultimately a far more optimistic world. While the challenges today might seem nearly insurmountable, the potential for the betterment of humankind and real innovation, not that suggested in the title of this talk of false capitalist innovation, is equally immense. AI-assisted planned economic governance. The rapid development of novel advanced computing technologies has sparked widespread discourse regarding their potential societal ramifications. While much of this discussion revolves around far future speculative scenarios and right-wing thought experiments, there has been relatively little exploration of the immediate practical applications of AI in enhancing economic planning and governance systems. Of course, people have been writing about this for decades. I've recommended the work of Paul Cockshott, particularly this book, Toward a New Socialism, which I'll link an audiobook to that. I encourage you to read works like this and other Marxist works. If you don't have the time to sit down and read, you can perhaps put on an audiobook link like the one I'll send when you do have the time to listen. So this conversation seeks to address this gap between AI futurism, the farce that is AI futurism, and the true building of techno-communist economic planning and governance structures. This conversation seeks to address this gap by presenting a conceptual framework for governance like the techno-communism in your country or the United Earth Directorate. Both models would rely fundamentally on AI assistance to coordinate and optimize economic planning functions and other governance elements. Inspired by foundational concepts within cybernetics and informed by principles of scientific socialism, this techno-communist framework and United Earth Directorate framework, these both propose the establishment of a decentralized network of AI modules that we could refer to as sidekicks. And these AI sidekicks are designed to collaborate with human administrators and experts, forming a vast symbiotic digital physical system. I've said that even some number of hundreds or small number of thousands of these, this novel and incipient AI hive mind collective could begin to challenge the dominion of the fascist West. So if this is possible by a relatively small number, you can imagine what many hundreds of millions or billions of people thusly connected might be capable of. We could begin to achieve things like transitioning up the Kardashev scale toward more sophisticated civilization at such time as human misery is brought to an end and sustainability is achieved. By undertaking tasks such as data processing, analysis, and modeling, this network of AI sidekicks augment the cognitive abilities of human planners and managers substantially. Additionally, their autonomous recommendations and oversight inject advanced optimization, adaptation, and evolutionary capabilities into economic planning processes, paving the way for more agile, transparent, and democratized governance that prioritizes societal needs over the interests of the 1% or the capitalist ruling elites who are killing the planet. So we're having this conversation, I hope, to perhaps begin to elucidate structure, functions, and even the workings, key departments in this techno-communist model in your country or the United Earth Directorate model, whichever proves to be the more prudent path forward, illustrating how the integration of socialist principles, cybernetic insights, and advanced computing tools can profoundly enhance economic planning and governance in the remainder of the 21st century. We can envision a paradigm shift from traditional bureaucratic models toward an intelligent, dynamic, and decentralized advanced computing human collaboration framework capable of truly managing complexity and uncertainty in service to social justice and sustainability. Fundamental principles. At the core of this United Earth Directorate governance blueprint lies three fundamental principles derived from both scientific socialist and cybernetic systems thinking. Societal needs orientation. Economic decisions should be based on fulfilling societal needs rather than prioritizing capital accumulation imperatives that continue to kill the planet. Technological optimization. Automation, computing, and information flows should be leveraged to achieve optimal balance of needs, resources, sustainability, and growth. Decentralized participation. Citizen participation and sentiment signaling should be decentralized within an integrated planned economy. However, it should be noted that the centralization of governance structures is not the near-term goal. It is rather the means to an end of ending this fascistic ecocide committed against all of us by the Western powers. Just as I said, 1,000 sidekicks could begin to perhaps do this. So the decentralizing, oftentimes capitalists also focus on decentralizing, and I don't think that most of them are operating in good faith or have any intention of challenging these deadly institutions or building better systems. So the importance, the most important thing then is to build things that are strong, stronger than the fascist West, not more democratic or more decentralized. By and large, these are weasel words. These three principles stated are operationalized within the techno-communist governance structure or United Earth Directorate through the development of an augmented governance model where advanced computing systems provide data-driven insights and recommendations to human decision makers while also managing extensive informational coordination tasks. Human actors retain decision-making authority, although their work product required of any individual would be quite slight, while the AI assistants enhance effective cognitive capacities and facilitate informed decision making quite dramatically. The structural overview. This techno-communism in your country or United Earth framework will require some structural elements, primarily these two. Core departments as described by economic function. Specialized departments are established to address key economic sectors such as manufacturing, agriculture, distribution, infrastructure, public health services, and education. These departments leverage automation and the AI assistant network to allow for far more effective planning, monitoring, and the delivery of public goods and services. A cross-cutting AI sidekick assistance. This network of AI assistants permeates all levels of the techno-communist or United Earth Directorate framework, providing support to workers, managers, and administrators. These AI sidekicks then can assist with tasks ranging from micro-level decision-making to macro-level planning and oversight. So let us explore several expansive economic departments envisioned within this techno-communist or United Earth Directorate model, showcasing the integration of AI augmentation and cybernetic planning enhancements. Infrastructure planning and management. Civilizational prosperity hinges upon the robustness, sustainability, and efficiency of infrastructure systems. The United Earth Directorate Infrastructure Department proposed could then harness AI assistance to develop resilient, adaptive networks for transportation, communication, housing, energy, and emergency services. Human-level intelligent advanced computing and algorithms could analyze usage patterns to schedule maintenance and upgrades, while predictive models of far greater strength could inform decisions regarding new infrastructure expansion. By and large, that is another thing that is understated. The way that we are moving through machine learning and other advanced computing models toward more robust predictive models, but these predictive models serve very little if they're only if they're only used to say predict the next move in Western-led fascistic military campaign, or maintain predict the next steps for maintaining the Dow Jones, say, that serves no public good at all. Smart sensors deployed across infrastructure assets can enable real-time diagnostics, allowing for proactive maintenance and regular interventions and repair interventions. Modular construction methods may well quickly facilitate rapid deployment and reconfiguration, ensuring flexibility and responsiveness to evolving needs. By integrating these cybernetic insights into advanced computing powered coordination, infrastructural planning and management become dynamic, responsive, and anti-fragile, unlocking latent value and fostering decentralized technological socialism as described. Product systems and distribution channels. The proliferation of advanced manufacturing technologies may present unprecedented opportunities for democratizing production capacities. And so the TechnoCommunist United Earth Directorate Production Department may well capitalize on digital fabrication tools such as 3D printing and robotic assembly lines to establish agile, decentralized network manufacturing networks capable of rapid on-time production. Again, this is not a novel concept limited to the early 21st century. For nearly a century, in many cases, many sectors have been highly automated across the so-called affluent world. This automation, however, has been manipulated to serve private wealth and the ruling elites. And so, for example, farming, which has become quite nearly a full automated affair, the previous generations of peasant farmers and farm workers were not the beneficiaries of this automation, nor are they even, nor are they or their descendants even guaranteed basic services in the form of safety net or welfare that is sometimes supplied by the liberal socialists. So this idea that higher and higher levels of automation will somehow reverse this trend of using automation to extract resources to the ruling elites is one of the great lies of technologists, techno-fascists of the late 20th and early 21st century, and it must be resisted. That is why we must focus on economic planning, the abolition of private wealth, and the techno-communist goals. Back to production systems. AI algorithms can optimize production schedules and material flows, ensuring efficient resource utilization and just-in-time coordination. Distributed manufacturing nodes enable regional specialization while maintaining centralized coordination and advantages. Transparent trade workflows facilitated by distributed ledgers and smart contracts will promote fairness and efficiency in economic exchanges. Additionally, the Techno-Communist Nation or United Earth Directorate can explore novel distribution systems utilizing autonomous drones for micrologistics, enhancing speed, reliability, and accessibility in supply chains. These innovations exemplify the transformative potential of leveraging AI and cybernetic principles to create centralized, sustainable, and adaptive production systems. But once again, Westerners already failed to recognize the extent to which this essential thing is being done. You can read the book the Republic of Walmart that describes the running of large chains on essentially central planning principles. And again, if this is done by private wealth in service to generating greater private wealth, it is not merely a waste of time and not merely inhumane with respect to working people and citizens of Earth, but it is a hyper-capitalist practice accelerating the death of the planet. Shifting now to the welfare of humankind and welfare systems, let's look at healthcare, housing, and education. The Techno-Communist Nation or United Earth Directorate can reimagine welfare provisions as, and must reimagine them as, strategic investments in human beings, your brothers and sisters on this earth, aiming to foster long-term prosperity and well-being. So a healthcare department would then employ advanced computing-driven preventative programs and telemedicine initiatives to enhance access and quality of care. Modular housing designs and decentralized construction methods could address housing affordability and sustainability challenges, but again, we do not need to reinvent the wheel. We need to establish a housing authority and public health service. Liberals and capitalists will often wring their hands and say, how could we possibly solve these problems when they uphold the institutions that prevent them from being solved. This requires the abolition of private wealth. In education, far more sophisticated virtual reality simulations, personalized learning algorithms, and open educational resources will empower individuals to pursue tailored learning pathways. These initiatives underscore the Techno-Communist Nation or United Earth Directorate's commitments to fostering continuous tech-enabled models for enhancing human potential and societal resilience. Macroeconomic coordination. Central to the Techno-Communist or United Earth Directorate governance framework is the optimization of macroeconomic policies and interventions to ensure balanced growth and stability. Advanced computing-driven analytics enable real-time monitoring of the economic necessaries and likely shifts, facilitating informed decision-making and proactive interventions to mitigate instability and imbalance. And so this economic planning level advanced computing network of sidekicks will be empowered to analyze microeconomic data, providing insights into economic sectoral dynamics and emerging risks. These insights inform macroeconomic planning and policy formulation, ensuring alignment with sustainability objectives and societal priorities. Democratic decision-making mechanisms such as periodic citizen representation on these centrally planned economic policies will enhance transparency and accountability in microeconomic governance. Resource and environmental monitoring. The Techno-Communist Nation or United Earth Directorate must recognize the imperative of integrating sustainability considerations into economic planning processes post-haste, 5 years before we are locked into a climate death spiral. Advanced AI-powered monitoring systems can track resource utilization and environmental impacts, enabling informed decision-making and proactive interventions to prevent further ecological degradation. Intelligent algorithms, as described, could process satellite imagery, sensor data, and environmental models to assess the health of ecosystems and quantify resource availability. Threshold-based alerts will trigger policy interventions when environmental boundaries are at risk of being breached, ensuring that economic activities will remain within sustainable limits. It is also important to consider cultural matters and respect for people's free time. In addition to material well-being, the TechnoCommunist and United Earth Directorate models will emphasize the importance of fostering cultural participation and community engagement. Advanced computing-driven initiatives will enable representative and so-called democratized access to all manner of cultural resources and creative opportunities, promoting inclusivity and social cohesion. Digital platforms could facilitate collaborative content creation, while augmented reality technologies ultimately could enrich leisure experiences and promote cultural exchange. By incentivizing creativity and participatory culture, the Techno-Communist Nation or United Earth Directorate will create avenues for individuals to realize their full potential. Virtually no one is anywhere near realizing this kind of potential, even people who you consider to be among the highest functioning people in the Western world. By and large, we are all squandering our potential for not having for not living in this techno-communist world, this will create not merely a resilient society, but a beautiful one. To summarize the benefits of the proposed techno-communist nation and United Earth Directorate models, these models can offer a comprehensive approach to economic governance, leveraging AI assistance and cybernetic principles to optimize decision-making processes and enhance societal well-being. By synthesizing socialist values with technological innovation, the Techno-Communist model or United Earth Directorate can present a viable pathway toward a truly equitable, resilient, and sustainable future. The integration of AI augmentation and cybernetic planning enhancements across key economic functions demonstrates the transformative potential of something like the United Earth Directorate. From infrastructural development to welfare provision and cultural enrichment, the Techno-Communist Nation or United Earth Directorate's decentralized, data-driven approach promises to revolutionize economic governance and foster inclusive prosperity. In conclusion, the United Earth Directorate and Techno-Communist models represent a paradigm shift in economic governance. Only the affairs of most significance in this world are, of course, those relating to human well-being and material conditions, and thus harnessing the power of advanced computing and the cybernetic principles to address existential risks and other pressing societal challenges will allow for a great human flourishing in our time. By embracing innovation and these techno-communist values, these models can give us a blueprint for navigating the complexities of the 21st century and charting a course forward.